All right, so it's one of the first days of...
Call it Honesty Box Ottawa.
It's Honesty Box Ottawa season. All the camping and the rafting and everything is over. Raft guides are here just packing up, putting everything away for the season. But we're up here with the brand new NRS Gore-Tex Drytop, so we're gonna give them a test. It's Golly Fest weekend. We didn't have it in us to rally the drive, so here we are, our other beautiful home away from home river. Let's go see how these new pieces of gear are working.
Ooh. What do you think? Good color? Oh, the neck gasket fits me way better than on the dry suit.
Yeah, so we changed the cuff in here. That was one of the things the teams worked on. But yeah, overall, I can see a couple things that came out of the team suggestions that we heard were coming and are here. It looks like a super sick top. So what did you just say to me?
Look, there's boob room. Not that I really need it, but others will.
Well, I don't have any, but I also don't need it, so. So just by comparison, this is the thickness of my Eclipse 4-layer, right? Which is what I've been wearing for years and love it. But then you can just feel and almost hear the thickness difference in the Gore-Tex. This is just a much heavier duty, but not much heavier fabric. I can definitely feel the weight difference in the Eclipse. One of the beauties of this was how light it was and how fast it dried, and it never really retained water. So that's one of the things with the Gore-Tex I'm going to be really interested about, but I can already feel the fabric breathing in the breeze. So definitely interesting. Hannah just pointed out we should note the temperature. It's what, 52?
Yeah, I believe that's 12 Celsius for all you Canadians.
And I just want to take a second to point out we're here doing an NRS shoot, and Hannah is in the most ridiculous not NRS booties I've ever seen.
Fun fact, they're Benny Marr approved. So it's around noon now. The weather's been warming up. I'm going to take off my base layer. So we'll see how dry this really is. But before I get to that, I wanted to talk about the tunnel a little bit, which I realized was super nice. So if you'll see, this bit under here is quite streamlined. So there's no extra fabric that's like bunched up under your skirt. And this is a lot shorter than on a lot of dry tops. So it's not bunched under your PFD either. It's easily the most comfortable in the abdomen area of any dry top I've owned. Oh, I didn't feel like I was gonna suffocate. So yeah, I mean, some of this is just from taking it off, but I'm not like soaked in sweat, which I feel like I usually am if I wear something under my dry top. And yeah, no leakage from the neck gasket, which is a welcome surprise. I wear medium, so that usually means it comes with a large neck gasket, but I don't have a large neck.
Yeah, I would say for my part, I am more comfortable than I've ever been before fall boating. No sweat, no moisture, no whatever under this top, and I don't feel clammy or wet or anything. No PFD ride up, no bunching, plenty of shoulder room. Perfect session in the right gear. It was awesome. So flash forward, it's been 2 hours. We did lunch. Hannah had to sit a lecture. We're gonna see how dry everything is in a typical boater situation where you do absolutely nothing to help yourself and dry your gear. You just pray, right? So, my kit is dry. Hannah's kit is dry. except for where it was in the bottom of the touching the seat of her boat. So quite impressive from that standpoint.
Up here for this trip, I was really worried that it wasn't going to be super comfortable, that we were going to kind of wish we were in some other piece of gear, but this is the most comfortable I've ever been in the fall. Hi, Boyle. Out there boil hunting, is that what you're doing? There's the boil. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, we're going in together. Last word of praise for this dry top, and something that's always driven me crazy, is usually after a play boating session, my sports bra is either drenched in water or sweat, and I can't just throw a t-shirt on over top of it to go to the bar. I have to do a whole big thing to hide myself and change, but yeah, life-changing.
So 3 days, 20-something hours on the water later. Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic dry top. There are so many little tweaks and refinements that, being on the NRS team, I can tell you we have worked on, asked for, brainstormed on for a long time. Everything from the cuffs to the amount of fabric down here has all been a long journey in our Eclipse fabric to get it right. And then now having it in Gore-Tex just sets this apart. I've been paddling 15 years. I've used, God, 6 or 8 different dry tops over the years that I've owned and torn apart and destroyed. And honestly, you know, the reason that I love NRS is you're always getting such a great product at a great price, and I've never destroyed one of these. I destroyed every other dry top I've ever had. I've never managed to really damage an NRS one. So the idea that with all of that being so many generations deep in refinement, and then we brought out this fabric, it's just fantastic. I know I've never been so comfortable on a rainy, stormy September weekend before. I had no problems just going and going and going. We were putting on around 10 and taking off around 6 every day, and maybe stopping for lunch. So the fact that you could do that with that amount of comfort is just incredible. The breathability that you get out of Gore-Tex is truly unmatched. This is my Eclipse top. Really? You might not be able to tell the difference. It's a little bit shinier, a little bit lighter. I will say that. If you decide to go for the price point, the cuts are almost identical in terms of the shape, the size, how we tailored this piece of gear, but the fabric is going to be different. You will be conscious in a non-Gore-Tex suit of the splashes, the evaporation of the water off of your shirt, all of those feelings, but truly in every other way, it's a perfectly good material. For that next level of comfort, mindlessness, pure joy on the river, there's no match for the Gore-Tex. I really am sold on it. I have to say, playboating on the Ottawa was such a great test environment. The big waves are trying to blow past your gaskets. The just nature of playboating means that any bad spots in the tunnel, bunching, lack of pressure, whatever it might be, will allow it to leak in a heartbeat. And this top just exceeded all of my expectations and Hannah's expectations as well. We were just so happy and comfortable. Hannah actually brought her dry suit expecting to do one day in the dry top and then switch over, and she wound up spending most of the weekend in the dry top. So as someone who runs cold all the time, which she does, I thought that was huge, and it meant a lot to me that she was dry and comfortable. It really is true that there is no such thing as bad weather, there's only bad gear. We were some of the only people out. Push button was absolutely prime and fantastic. The river levels and the water temperatures were awesome, but it was raining most of the time. So just being comfortable, being happy in the boat was the make or break for that trip. And man, did this Rev Drytop just take care of it. I am so stoked on this top, and if you're in the market, this is the one I would recommend. I'm sponsored by them, but this is still the best dry top I've ever owned. So thanks. It's gonna keep getting colder, so I guess the dry suit's probably next.